teach science and leadership, and we're going to go through 3 areas here at Kinard and talk to you about what we do and what our kids do when they're here with us at school. So we'll start with science and leadership. I like to think about science. I've taught here for 14 years. This is actually my 30th year of teaching, which I always joke that it's crazy because I'm 32. And I don't know how I've taught that many years, but strangely enough, middle school kids, they wear you out at home. I have grown kids, but they give you energy when you're at school with them. So they keep me going, they keep me laughing, they keep me learning. And that's an amazing thing here at Kinard. So I like to look at science. What does it look and feel like at Kinard? Here's a clicker. Sure. In 6th grade, there's the nitty-gritties, and that's kind of what are the topics that we learn here. In 6th grade, students learn about the earth sciences. So plate tectonics, volcanoes, weather, astronomy, all kinds of things in the earth sciences field. Ms. Mack mentioned this in that video that you watched, that students in 6th grade, we always say this because people would say, we hear you have 1st semester science and 2nd semester history in 6th grade. But in 6th grade, as we transition kids in, we like them to see their teachers every day like they did in elementary school, so they have those teachers for 80 minutes every day. In 7th and 8th grade, they'll have science every other day. So they're still getting a full year of science and a full year of history. It's just that smaller school within a school, and we know it's what's best when kids transition in from 6th grade. In 7th grade, life sciences, one of my favorite areas, biology, genetics, human body systems, photosynthesis, respiration, all kinds of fun stuff that they get to do in that area. And in 8th grade, we just finished up our chemistry unit. I didn't like chemistry. I think it's great to teach something that you didn't like. I didn't like it when I was in school. It was boring. We had to memorize a periodic table. And I love, in fact, I just had a mom in the last session come up and say, thank you, my son just told me how much he loves chemistry. That's, to me, successful. When kids leave here saying, when they go to high school, I love science, I want to try more, I'm curious. I want them to go to high school feeling confident about it and curious about it. We're going into physics. We're building roller coasters where we apply motion. We're going to be doing acceleration, velocity, average speed, all those kinds of things, and they're going to get lots of hands-on time. In science, we incorporate 6 through 8. We meet as a team. It's not just each grade level. We meet as a science department, and we really talk about the skills that we want to, we call it spiraling, and revisit each year so that they leave here really confident with those skills. We incorporate core knowledge standards, along with those they're called next generation standards now, and that core knowledge piece just makes it a richer curriculum. We integrate technology, engineering, math, problem solving, and experimental design. Sounds like a lot of words, people say those things, but what I love about Kinard is that we do it. We live that, we don't say things we don't do, and we talk about these things in our meetings. How are we putting these things into the classroom and having kids experience all of these things integrated into the actual science classroom? Outside of class, we have so many kids that love science here. We have a lot of programs outside of the classroom. So kids can be part of Science Olympiad, which is competitive science. Some kids love studying for tests, and they take these competitive tests. Pretty cool. We always do really well. Science, they build things and compete with them. Science Fair Club, we have Science Bowl, which is like a science trivia competition. Science Adventures is an elective. And we have a very, very successful Lego robotics team. Mr. McGonigal here coaches that, and they have won nationals, right?
National championship last year, and 3 out of the 4 teams this year qualified for state.
So pretty amazing. Kids love it. What does it feel like? I think that after the curriculum you talk about those skills, because kids remember those skills that they take on to high school. Communication. I'm married to a scientist. I know how important, if you're a scientist out there, how important that communication is. So we write in science. We talk about how important it is to communicate what you observed, to take your data. We don't have to fake data. If you get something that doesn't seem right, you write about it and tell us why. There's not just a right answer. So we talk about sharing things graphically and being able to write about it. Creativity, kids creating their own labs, creating their own experiences in science. Collaboration, of course, working together, finding your strengths, your weaknesses, and how do you come together as a group and come up with solutions for things. And critical thinking and problem solving, of course. What we do, we found, is working. The formula that we have, the way we put character into it, the way we work hard together, we're doing really well, not only in the state, but in the district. We do really well, even above the averages of PSD. I also teach leadership here. I teach a Kinard Cares leadership class, and I wanted to tell you a lot about the opportunities that we have. You heard about our character. We're very big on teaching our kids in all of these classes how to be a good leader. Kinard, we can do National Honor Society in all grade levels. We have a student wellness team where kids are part of putting on programs. Mr. Benson runs that. Kids help other kids to be healthy and well in our school. Kinard Cares Global Leadership and Environmental Leadership are really cool elective classes in the 8th grade. Kids apply. They have an opportunity for travel with those classes. Web mentoring, you've seen those kids tonight, where everyone belongs. So they help kids transition back into our school, especially when they're coming in as 6th graders, because kids like to learn from other kids more than anything. And we have Give Next, which is a really cool philanthropic group that gets together and works on knowing how to give money and look at groups and nonprofits that need help, and they get to be the decision makers. So that's science and leadership here, and I'm going to pass this on to Mr. Jacob Benson, who's going to talk to you about health and PE.
Hello. Thank you so much for coming. This is my space. This is my gym that I have got to be here. I've been here 17 years. This school's actually been here 16. So we actually started at Fossil Ridge High School, where I taught for the first year while this school was getting built. So I'm old. I've been here forever. And love what I do. I think I have the best job in the world. A lot of teachers fight for that. Best job in the world, but I really think I did. We have standards that are the exact same for health and PD. That's how the Colorado wrote their standards. So that's how we wrote our classes here at Kinard. Instead of having a separate health class and a separate PE class, it's health and PE incorporated together, which means that we might do some health content as well as our PE content. Sometimes we'll do movement with our health, sometimes we'll do some sit and get health, and then movement, but we always try to be doing movement every single day as we're incorporating in our health content. We, as a school, try to build each year on top of our skills, so that in 6th grade, they come in from lots of different schools. Lots of different ability levels, lots of kids that might look like that crazy kid. That's my son right there. That's upside down. That's my son Noah. He's actually gonna maybe be here next year. How crazy is that? So, he was young. My wife actually snapped that picture as he was trying to run towards her arms, and he hit the thing. So, lots of different ability levels. So we take your kids where they're at, whether they have 0 ability or high abilities, and we modify, and we try to have your kids learning right where they need to be. And in 6th grade, we kind of start out like with those basic skills: throwing and catching and striking and volleying and team building, how to get along with each other, incorporated with health, like conflict resolution, like dealing with our emotions, injury prevention, decision making, etc. Then in 7th grade, they get PE the whole year long. So it's the longest stint of health and PE that they get in 7th grade. And then we really dive into so many, like hundreds, seems like 1,000 different things that we do in PE. We get into a lot of team sports and tournaments, as well as like get kids out of their comfort level. We make them dance in front of their peers. We record them. They stand, and you should see some of these guys, like it's the worst day of their lives. But they leave, like, that was awesome. That was amazing. And it's so cool. I couldn't believe I had to teach that. I was like, what? I can't teach dance. And it's one of my favorite units that I teach. We do crazy stuff like slacklining that you guys can try over here today. Lots of different balance stuff, lots of games for you to try after this, which will be fun. We go outside and we teach them how to ride bikes. There's some 7th graders that have never ridden a bike before. And so we teach them how, which is so awesome. Then we put them on the roads and teach them how to act with cars, how to signal, how to be safe, what are the rules of the road. We teach them fly fishing. We transform this gym into an archery range, and we put a Kevlar curtain right here, and we teach them how to be safe. Did you know that archery is the safest sport ever done in PE? Less injuries, less things that, like basketball, which is kind of crazy. Some people are like, oh, what, do you do archery? Yep, and it's got a perfect safety record. I could go on and on. You can see in the pictures over here that's scrolling the things we do, other pictures that are up here. And then, like I said, with 6th grade, we incorporate fitness and nutrition, building healthy relationships, disease and injury prevention, lots of different things in the 7th grade. And then as I get to 8th grade, we do that again, kind of that next tier of like, okay, now you've learned a lot of basic stuff, you've done team sports. Now, what does it look like to be deaf, blind, adaptive sports? So we have, they play blind baseball, wheelchair basketball. They look at different sports from across the different countries and continents in international games. They do some rhythms and dance, a lot of different things, and then dive a little bit into heavier details of health, like addictions and alcohol, tobacco, drugs, mental disorders, etc. We just have a blast though, the whole time through. Some of your kids have already gone through our program, which we love. It's fun to see some familiar faces that are out here tonight. We are here for you and for your child, so if you ever want to come fly fishing with us, or you want to come into class and embarrass your kid, you're more than welcome to, which is awesome. I'm going to now turn it over to our tech team, and they're going to give you a little spiel about how tech looks here.
Hi, I'm Beth Bean, and I teach 7th grade tech and 21st century media, and this is
Tim McGonigal, and I teach 8th grade tech, entrepreneurship, and I'm also Science Olympiad and Lego Robotics coach. So, tech looks a little different around the district, school to school. For some schools, they have a quarter of computers, they have a quarter of woodshop in 6th grade. We integrate technology in the 6th grade curriculum throughout the year, with things like Google applications, digital safety, coding, basic video editing.
So the technology program at Kinard 6th through 8 incorporates a hands-on, project-based approach that's designed to have students solving real-world problems. So for example, we have a Gaga pit, which is really fun right after lunch to go play, and the students absolutely adore it. It gets them active, but there was a problem. Students kept getting their arms stuck in the holes on the top of the Gaga pit. So, in tech, we designed and printed the patent-pending Gaga plug, which solved the problem. So students are using tech to solve their own problems. We focus on the engineering design cycle process. We investigate, we plan, we create, we evaluate the effectiveness of the things we create. And we use 21st century skills that help students across new technologies. And goodness knows there are new technologies all the time. In our program, students learn the past, the present, and the future of technology. In 7th and 8th grade at Kinard, technology is required for a semester. And students go deeper into the world of tech with specific elective classes like entrepreneurship and 21st century media. You can see all the wonderful filmers from that all around the building, filming for those of us, or those who couldn't be here tonight. So, all the topics we have include, but are not limited to, as there's new tech all the time.
We teach programming, various ways. We have a set of drones where we can autonomously program the drones to fly a certain course. We do woodshop projects. Again, not limited to, but here are a couple I brought with me. Clipboards and race cars. The race cars are air-powered dragsters. We start with a block of wood. It's got an air hole in the back. The air shoots into the hole at about 75 psi. The cars get up to about 35 miles an hour and go in 25 feet in about half a second. So the kids, you'll see it in the video here in a little later. Clipboards, they create clipboards, learn how to stain, learn how to paint, learn how to work with wood. There's physical computing. We also have web design, coding. Code.org is one of our big curriculums that we follow. Also, we have Raspberry Pis where we do Python programming. And let's see, VR. We incorporate different lessons with the VR. One that I do is a tiny house lesson, which is structural engineering with popsicle sticks. They design it first in a 5D, 3D program, put on the VR goggles, and they can walk through the house that they built. Then we physically build it out of popsicle sticks. That's a really popular program. Technological innovations, which change constantly. We're always changing. Structural design, which is the popsicle stick tiny houses that we do. Robotics. I have an ELO, which is a graded year-long extended learning program every day for robotics, but also the first half of the year is robotics first Lego League competition. Very popular this year. Last year, the students kept the team, the Kinard teams going in a neighborhood team and went to nationals. Received the first place in core values and nationals. So pretty amazing stuff. This year we had 5 teams. Had to reduce that down to 4, and then 3 of the 4 teams went to state this year. We also have typing, where Miss Bean, everybody tries to beat Miss Bean every year. I think you went down this year, didn't you?
No, students get faster.
Nobody can beat you?
Yeah, no, I'm a student that types 113 words per minute right now. I can't beat that.
Yeah. The bottom line is we have fun with learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We do spreadsheets with data and, of course, digital safety.
Yes, and digital safety is super important in today's world. Make sure students are safe in everything they're doing online. We do research and data analysis and video production. Yay, 21st century media industry. We do photo editing, entrepreneurship. They create their own little businesses, sell stuff, and all the proceeds go to Give Next. I have a really cool pen I bought. They've also done horse spray and ski wax, and they're going to go on to make millions, and hopefully they remember us.
Yeah.
We have rocketry and aerodynamics, basic electronics, circuits, 3D modeling, 3D printing, and so many fun things. I feel like it's lions, tigers, and bears, oh my! It's just really,